Hello, my name.
Hello, and my name.
Hello, my name is Vanessa Simone.
And I'm Mimi Hayes.
And we are the Girls Next Door.
This is a creativity podcast. We've been ripping and gripping.
Ripping it away.
Just making episode after episode.
Yeah, we're just chugging down the line.
Away. All right, what's on the docket today, V?
Yes, we are talking about networking for people who hate networking.
So everybody? Most people?
Like literally everybody. I don't know anybody. I think that's why I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. We were just talking about this right before this. Like, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, oh.
Well, okay, so I am an extrovert who over the years has become more introverted. I do get my energy from people, but also I can burn out on people and I don't want to people anymore. Mm-hmm. That's my introversion coming with the years. But also I can be socially awkward and I can be in a conversation where ever be in this situation? Is this you? Where two people are talking and you're like the third person and you're just like nodding and you're like waiting for the chance to like chime in, and then you're like, oh, bit. Or you think of something and you don't say it out loud because you don't want to interrupt, and then like the time has passed, so now you can't say the thing
because it's like going back to the like, oh, girl, that was like, yeah, I also used to be more extroverted. Now I think I'm more of an ambivert. I definitely burn out on
ambivert.
Yeah, so like I noticed that I get burnt out. First of all, I'm a morning person, so you catch me in the morning, we're good. Nighttime, I'm like, okay.
You be blowing up my phone at 6 a.m.
I know, literally, ideas just be flowing to Mimi's phone. It's like 4 a.m.
Getting up at like 9 a.m. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at all these ideas.
Yeah.
You've already been to the gym.
I've already done. I'm a morning person through and through. So like by 7 p.m., I'm not really.
So evening networking events are hard for you.
Yeah. Like if it was a brunch, sign me up. If it's morning, I'm way more energetic. But yeah, I'm an ambivert because I recharge on my own or with people that I really can just be myself with. But when I have to put on, and then I'm kind of an introvert, which is funny because sometimes people will like see me out in the wild and they'll be like, Vanessa, I think I follow you. And I'm like, oh shit. Hey. And like, I do enjoy when that happens, but I'm also so awkward too. Like I'm very weird. And if there's like a lot of big energies, I tend to just like slide back and I kind of tend to fall backward. If it's like a bunch of people who are always like talking or like more talkative, I'm like, okay, I'll let you guys have it. I'll be in the corner with my one person who I'm comfortable with, kikiing and haha.
Something I will say is that like, I think it can be super easy to network if you just approach it like a person and not like this person I'm approaching is God. You know,
yeah,
like you
exactly.
Tend to think, like, especially if you're at like something that you enjoy and you're like, there are people here I want to meet. And I don't know who they are, and I want to get in touch with them because I want to be them someday.
Right.
Like it's so easy to just be like, hey, I like your necklace.
Yeah.
Hey, are you in line for the bar? Hey, I like your hair.
Yeah.
Cute outfit. Like it's so easy to start with a compliment, and then they just go, great, you know? And then you can start up a natural conversation like that. When it comes to once you start the talking, I think it's really important that you have something called a business card and that you have it on hand so that when the time comes and you feel like making that step into, hey, I think this could be a beneficial relationship, you can say, hey, can we swap cards, or can I get your information, or can I connect with you? What's the best way to connect with you? Ask them a question, right? What's the best way to connect with you? They'll tell you. If they're like just comfortable with social media, they'll give you their social media.
Yeah.
If they want to connect over email, they'll give you their email, right? So that's kind of a skill to know in that conversation when it's time to do that.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can just literally start with a compliment and see where that takes you, you know?
Yeah. Great job. Mimi's gonna carry this podcast.
Be a short episode.
Yeah, Mimi's gonna carry this.
Okay.
No,
I do want to touch on like when we've both been, we touched on this before, but we've both been in a situation where we were in a networking environment.
Yeah, it was
but it was not a fit for us.
Yes. And that is okay. So I think there's different types of networking, right? Because if I have to network, so I work a corporate job during the day and then I'm a creative at night. If I have to network for my corporate job, good God, just like throw me off a plane. No parachute, no nothing. Like I suck at it. And I remember my boss was like, he's like, we want to send you to more of these. And I just about, please don't. Like, seriously, God, no. But then it's crazy because when I network for things that I am passionate about, I can meet people. I can be more personable. I can be more bubbly and all of those things when I'm at an event or something where I get to meet other creatives and other people like that. So there's different types of networking based off of what your interests are. And I think that helps a lot too when you're going to something that actually inspires you. I also think too, this is going to sound maybe strange, but sometimes it's good to not know the people that you look up to when you're networking, because I feel like I've met people who I look up to because I had no idea who they were. So I didn't have that kind of like what you were talking about where you meet somebody and you know they're like your hero or whatever, so you kind of have this like, oh my God, they're this amazing god, and you have this, you put them into like this god complex, and that doesn't really help. So personally, I actually kind of like it when I have no idea who like some famous person is or something, because then somehow I end up meeting them or end up in some random thing with them because I had no idea. Like, I couldn't tell you who they were. I couldn't tell you any of that. And then I'm not putting them on this pedestal where I'm like, oh my God, it's Mindy Kaling, or something like that. So in a way that kind of works. If you're somebody who can meet celebrities and you're chill, or you can meet your heroes and you're chill, good for you. I am working on that.
The first time I saw a celebrity, like a real celebrity sighting, was when I collided with Josh Groban's chest in a theater, and I was running to get a phone charger, and the first thing out of my mouth was, "Are you Josh Groban?" like confirming, like, "Are you Josh Groban?"
So nonchalant.
I did the same thing with Neil Patrick Harris. So I was like, "Are you Neil Patrick Harris?" Just confirming I'm not like losing my shit.
Yeah.
If you are the person I think you are, which is probably not the best move, right? Because they're wanting to be incognito most of the time.
Right.
And so like they don't want attention on them. But again, I just like literally bumped into him, like quite literally, like collided with his chest, and I was like,
yeah, I like was shopping once with Jennifer Hudson. She came into like where I worked, so I was showing her around, but I had to play my cool because, they're celebrities in New York, and you're like, yeah, I have no idea who you are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then one of the One Direction folks, I forgot his name. I think his name is Neil. And I like looked up from my phone from a text message that I got from somebody else. And I was like smiling, and we happened to lock eyes. And I think he thought I was smiling at him. And I was like, swear to God, I have no idea who you are. But somebody sent me a picture, and then I sent it to my sister, and she's like, he was at your store. And she was freaking out. And I was like, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. He's just some, short white guy to me. But,
and the celebrity piece is a whole different layer.
Very different, yeah.
Most of the time, you're not going to be around celebrities. Yeah. But you may be around people that you admire.
Yeah,
or that you want to connect with. And so there can be that bit of awkwardness when you're approaching them. But recognizing that person's humanity, striking up a conversation. I mean, I've networked. Also, I think it's interesting when you can find, if you're in a place where you don't feel comfortable, like for me, I was at a networking event for actors in LA, and it was like this like Hollywood, like you ended up paying, it was a little scammy. You ended up like paying for this membership to like go to these like fake kind of red carpety events, and it was all about exclusive.
They're definitely preying on
and so they're preying on like actors and like young people who want to meet people, and you end up paying for it, which I don't really agree with, because then you're also paying for the bar, and it ends up being very expensive. But I remember being at that event, and I immediately was like, I am not like these people. And it was this weird thing where I was talking to all these actors and they felt robotic to me. And the way that they were networking was very like, I'm trying to get something out of you. And I'm like, I don't have anything to give you. I'm not Ron Howard. I'm not in control. I'm not a gatekeeper. But I immediately felt like I don't like these people.
Yeah.
And so I felt really disconnected in that environment. However, then I met someone at that same event who felt the same way as I did. And I was like, these people are kind of stuffy. It's kind of weird, right? Like, this is weird. And that ended up being my cinematographer for my documentary.
Oh, see? That's so cool.
We connected. And I remember how I approached this was I just went straight to the heart of, like, myself. Because I think they asked me, like, my story or what I do or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm like a brain injured gal comedian. I'm like trying to like get my pilot up. I like had a brain bleed on a blind date when I was 22 and I was a teacher. And like, I just kind of blew them away with like my story. And they were like, that's really compelling. And they're like, you're really compelling. And so instead of talking about like what you think the other person wants to hear,
right? Which
is like your resume, right? These buttoned up like actors, like, and I did a commercial for Pantene, and you're just like, okay,
like great,
you know, like I guess, but who are you? Like, who are you behind the resume?
Actress, behind the skills.
And so I connected with that person, and then that ended up becoming a really good relationship that continues to this day, working on a documentary together. So, you know, don't count yourself out if you're in an environment that's uncomfortable for you. Try to see if you can find the people on the edges. The people who are like at the bar and they're shy and they're not talking to anyone. And it's like, hey, be like, hey, what you drinking? You know?
I tend
if
to...
there's alcohol there. Like, that's what's hard too, is like a lot of times these networking events are at a bar type setting. It's like you're shouting into someone's ear. Like there's a band playing or there's loud music, you know? So sometimes it's not always the greatest environment for networking, right? It's not always in a quiet, chill place. That can be hard to battle too if you're like, I don't even want to be in a bar, or I don't want to be, you know, in this setting and put myself out there in that way. Like, it can be very uncomfortable, but you might find other uncomfortable people there and you can bond with them, and you never know what's going to happen from that.
That's typically how I end up networking. I find probably the weirdest person sitting in the corner and I'm like, you're my person. And that happened to me at like this huge influencer event that I looked up to. I was like, went to their event and this influencer was a terrible person. Pretty much when we met each other, I was so looking forward to meeting this person. It was my first like influencer hosted event in New York. And I remember looking up to this influencer and I get to their event and I go up to her and I'm like, hi, I love your page and stuff. This person literally looks me up and down like, what the hell are you doing here? And I have never felt so unwelcomed. And I'm like, girl, I'm here supporting your brand. Like, you wouldn't be here if it weren't for people like me. And then I found this very cool goth girl in the corner. She's actually blown up and I'm like so proud of her. But if you ever find Closet Vomit Fashion, I remember when I met you, and that was it was really great meeting you because you made that night so much more special than that actual night was supposed to be. But yes, I end up meeting kind of the people who are on the outskirts. I'm kind of awkward. And I'm kind of weird. So if I feel like, if I feel like awkward and weird, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this ain't happening. And then there's times where I'm like really bubbly and I'm really good. So it's a mixture. But kind of to your point, where going back to the networking, because everybody says that your network is your net worth, but I love the idea of when you meet people who you vibe with, I think that's where you get to do the coolest collaborations, because then you're collaborating with people who you just mesh with, you know, you end up creating cool stuff together, like you and your cinematographer, you know, because you've made that initial connection, and it's you can vibe on a whole new level. Yeah.
And you have to understand too, not every connection you make is going to be amazing.
Exactly.
And I'm going to tell this outlandish, crazy story, they're going to be like, this isn't even true. You're just making this up. But back in the New York days, it might still be a thing. I'm not sure because I haven't been on Bumble, but Bumble had a Bumble Biz.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Bumble Biz was for networking.
Yes, I remember that.
And so it was a side of, you were on the app Bumble, but you could use it to connect with people. Mm-hmm. And it could be in your industry. It was not meant for dating. You could see a couple profiles that were still like, oh, yeah, I'm looking for a hot chick. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, people would say what industry they're in. Are they artists? Who are they looking to meet? So I put on my profile, like, looking to meet, like, producers, looking to meet other writers, looking to meet creatives, looking to meet, people who like to go hiking. Like, I was just kind of, like, put it all out there. Mm-hmm. The hiking part is not true. I would have never put that on my profile. I don't hike. But you get the idea, right? Like, I was like, mm-hmm. dog friendly, whatever. So I started connecting with people, and the first hit was this guy who was a writer, and we started chatting, and I was like, what do you write? And he's like, oh, I write this, like, fan fiction or, like, whatever, short stories. And I was like, hey, not to publish myself here or like put myself in this way, but I have a writing class coming up. I was teaching writing classes in Brooklyn, and this person was in Brooklyn. So I was like, hey, not to be this person, but do you want to join my writing class? Like, it's no problem if you don't want to, but just throwing it out there. He ended up coming in my class.
Oh, cool.
So that was like a class, a student for my writing workshop. Then this next story is so crazy. I matched with this gal. Her name is Esther.
Oh.
Do you know this story?
Yes.
Okay. This is a whole chapter of my new book, by the way. It's that insane. I will not take up the entire episode with this story, but I matched with Esther, and she says she's making a documentary about female comedians. So I was like, oh, I'm one of those. Like, that's great. I could be in your documentary. Mm-hmm. We actually have a phone call. We get off of the app and we're on a phone call, and she starts telling me about this film, and I'm like, yeah, it's hard being a lady in this industry, yada, yada. We scheduled to meet. And at the time I was working for a rapper, and I was running his lights and sound for his solo shows. So oftentimes I would invite people to come to my boss's shows as a double whammy, to be like, you're here to see me, but you're also going to be in my boss's audience, which is good for me because I'm trying to get him a crowd, right? Mm-hmm. So I say, hey, if you want to come to my boss's show, we can maybe get a drink after. It's up to you. Okay, fine. She tells me she can't make the show, but we'll meet afterwards. And I was like, great. So I pick a spot. I'm doing the show, live show. I'm in the sound booth. Running lights and sound. And I see this figure come into the audience, because I could see, from the box, come into the audience, sit down, immediately get back up, and start walking out. And then came and opened my door. I had this little door. It didn't even have a doorknob. It was like you stuck your thumb in there and pulled it. I don't even know how she got in there, but she literally she opened a door into the sound booth, and she was like, Mimi? And I was like, Esther? Like, I'd never met this person before. I hardly knew what she looked like. I mean, you could see their little profile picture, but I don't really know who this person is. She's dressed like Cruella de Vil. She's got this fur hat on. I'm like, Esther? I'm running the show. Like, I'll meet you after. I'm hitting buttons. And so she leaves, and I kind of start texting her as I'm working, and I'm like, okay, let's meet at this coffee shop. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll be right there. The show's not over yet. Yeah, it's not over. And she looked unwell. I'll say this, when she came into the box, she looked like she was having a moment. She was not in a good place. So I'm like, okay, we'll get coffee. A couple red flags had popped up at this point, but I'm like, what's another, Yeah. And I'm texting her, and I say, let's meet at this coffee shop. She says, that's really funny that you would send me to a coffee shop that's not real. I've sent her to a fake destination. And I was like, no, it's real. It's real.
It's real, I promise. It's on Google.
So she's questioning me, and then she goes, oh, I'm at this place. So she goes to a different spot, across the street from where I had suggested. It's a restaurant. It's a fancy restaurant. I go and I see her, and she's sitting there. And I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, oh, whatever are you talking about? And she switches. I really do believe in my heart she had a personality disorder. She switches entirely, and she tells me she like stole this pair of shoes on her feet, these boots, and she lifts her leg in the air and she's like, I stole these boots today. And I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? I have no idea what is happening. I thought I was here to talk about like women in comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I thought it was being in your documentary.
And then I mentioned that, and I'm like, so how's your film going? And she's like, what film? And I'm like, I'm literally in the Twilight Zone. I don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. There are no prices on the menu.
And so like, that means it's expensive
and
AF.
I feel like she took me here to buy her dinner.
Oh my God.
And the waiter comes up and is like, you know, can I get you anything? And I was like, we're just going to stick with water right now, you know, like, and I'm like, she's really trying to manipulate me into buying her whatever. Cause,
oh my God.
You know, she's unwell. She might be homeless. I don't know what's going on with her. The waiter comes up. It's a comedian that I know. And I was like, hey, Chloe, what's up? How you doing? I didn't know you worked here, you know, whatever. She leaves. We still haven't ordered. Mm-hmm. A different waiter comes because they're getting agitated now.
Yeah,
Different waiter comes. She does that same situation. She goes, "Oh my God, David, how are you? I didn't know you worked here." He's like, "My name's Jason." Like, like she's like mimicking the same things that I just did. Doing. So I was like, okay, something is seriously wrong. We end up leaving because I'm like, we're not gonna order here. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah. I'm not gonna buy anything here. I have no money, you know, in the first place. You hit the wrong market. Okay?
Yeah, you picked the wrong.
You're not a sugar daddy here. Yeah. We see the coffee shop because it's real. Because I try to get. She's like, oh, there's the coffee shop. She grabs my arm. We run in there, and I'm like, this is going to end in some sort of way. Mm-hmm. I'm just here for the plot at this point. Yeah. Which is bad of me. I really should have had stronger boundaries when I felt uncomfortable. And I want to be better at this in the future. But we go to the coffee shop. And now I order a beer because I'm like, I might as well just enjoy myself. Because I'm with this crazy lady. And we sit down and she orders like a hot water. Just a hot water. Because I don't buy her anything. Yeah. Which she's kind of pissed about.
Gosh.
And we sit, and we have this whole exchange, and she starts saying, oh, do you want to rob a mansion tonight? She goes on a phone call. She has new personalities coming out. She's having outbursts. She's crying. Jeez. She's laughing. It's like a whole thing, and I'm just like drinking my beer, like, okay, I'm here. And then we leave, and she takes her cup and her saucer with her. She steals it in front of me.
Oh my God.
So she like takes her stuff out, and I'm like, okay, I must leave now. Like, I'm trying to give her social cues. It's time to go. She again seems like sad, you know, that I'm not inviting her back to my place. Again, I don't know if she was homeless or not. Like, I don't know. Finally get her to say goodbye, and I go in the opposite direction. And I just start running to the subway. I'm just like, what just happened? And this was from Bumble Biz. And this was not a good
Maybe this is why Bumble Biz isn't existent anymore.
I don't know. I mean, I do think that she was deeply unwell. I felt really bad. She ended up calling me in the middle of the night and left a voicemail. I didn't answer. And it was just like this whole ordeal. And I'm a little gun shy because of that, right? Like, I'm very trusting as a person. I will go to coffee with anybody. Yeah. I've almost gotten pyramid schemed so many times because I'm just so trusting. Yeah. So that's another thing I want to talk about is just like having your own boundaries around a connection and what are you okay with and what are you not okay with? You don't have to continue that, like, for the plot. Yeah. You could just be like, now is enough. Now is too many red flags have passed. I'm going home now. So knowing when to just be like, it's not a good connection. It's not going to manifest into my cinematographer. Like, that's fine. But I had to learn that kind of the hard way because I was just like here. And people know this about me. I'm a very loving, accepting person. So I think I do attract a lot of messed up people. Because they're like, oh, finally, someone who is going to accept me. Someone who's going to love me, you know, care about me. And I'm just like, oh, no.
Meanwhile, I'm like, no.
So that is my networking horror story. And I hope that doesn't happen to anybody else, but it might. You know, you're going to go to coffee with weird people. I almost got pyramid schemed. A lady on the subway started talking to me. That's the first red flag. You don't talk to people on the subway.
Yeah, no.
And she started
headphones in,
complimenting me, and you know, I was like, oh, okay. And then she starts asking me questions. What do you do? I'm a comedian. Oh, do you make money at that? I was like, not really. She wants to give me her number to get coffee, and I just think this is a potential friend.
Yeah.
I go to coffee with her, and again, I was just a magnet for these weird things.
Yeah.
This is another chapter of the book, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like almost getting pyramid schemed, and she was questioning me the whole conversation. She was just asking me about myself. She wouldn't tell me anything about herself except that she had this vague mentor. And I was like, okay, so Yoda, like you have like Albus Dumbledore, like what are you talking? Like this vague. Yeah. She wouldn't say the person's name. She wouldn't say what they did. It was just like, I have this mentor, and I can teach you the secrets that this mentor has taught me about financial freedom. And of course, I'm just so gullible, and I'm like, I want to be financially free.
Yeah,
like cool, I'll meet your friend. Yeah. I'll meet your whatever. And she gives me this book, and she's like, read this book before we meet next time. And it was Robert Kiyosaki, Business of the 21st Century. Okay? It was this business book.
Yeah.
And this author also wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I had read. So I was like, okay, cool. I get a book out of this. Awesome. So she gives me this book. And then I go to the bathroom before I leave. And as I'm circling back out, there's another young woman holding this book, waiting to take my seat and go talk to her. So she's had 2 coffee dates at the same place. She booked them at the same place around the same time. Oh so I'm leaving, and I see her with the book too. And I was like, this is putting my flags up. This is weird. I immediately Google Robert Kiyosaki Business of the 21st Century scheme or scam. And it comes up with this whole Reddit of people who get approached by strangers, mostly women, who start complimenting you. They start asking you questions. They want to take you to coffee. They start alluding to a mentor. They give you a book. It's a scam.
Dang. What? So, I would have been scammed too.
I texted her. I literally screenshotted this Reddit thread that was like describing her behavior. And I sent it to her because she was like, are we still on for next Wednesday? Because I had booked it in my calendar. Mm-hmm. I was like planning on going to see her again. Because I'm just that dum-dum, you know? But I screenshotted it, sent it to her, and she's like, some people just don't want to be wealthy.
Yeah.
You know, some people just can't be helped. And I was like, some people just, you know what I said? I said, some people just don't want to be pyramid schemed.
Good. Good. Way to stand up for yourself.
And then years after this happened, I was in a coffee shop and I overheard this couple talking because I like to eavesdrop.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, she was super nice though. But yeah, we could read this book together, right? Yeah, do you think we should get coffee with her? Yeah, why not? Mm-hmm. They start talking. And I walk up to them and I'm like, did somebody approach you with a book called Business of the 21st Century? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, it's a scam. It's a scam. Did she compliment you? Yeah. Did she ask about, did she say something about mentor? Yes. It's just going down the list of all the things, the red flags. And I was like, yeah, don't go to coffee with her.
Yeah.
Burn the book.
Burn it. I mean, you can read the book. The book is good. I've read the book. It's good, but it's being used. But other than that, get the free book and then disappear, okay?
It's being used as this vehicle to try to prey on vulnerable people, right? So it's the whole pyramid scheme network is that I give you this information, you go and give this information to
other people, and then they bring in, and God.
Whole thing.
I hate that, yeah.
So you got to be careful about that. You have to have your wits about you. And if you're not sure, like, call a friend and be like, hey, is this legit? Like, and I think I just used Google as my friend that day because I was just like, this isn't weird about this.
Yeah.
So not all networking is created equal. Sometimes there are people that are out there to get you. And that can be hard to tell who those people are and who is a safe person to connect with. But those are 2 very bad examples.
Yeah.
2 very sketchy examples. But for the most part, I think if you lead with your heart, you compliment people, you are in spaces that you are inspired in. Mm-hmm. I like to go to a lot of film festivals. If I can volunteer in those spaces, that's another way to connect. If you are like, I desperately want to be in the Sundance Film Festival, go volunteer for them and connect with the filmmakers.
Yeah.
See what's up. They're going to be in the lounge. They're going to be having a drink at the bar. Like, go compliment them. Go see what's up.
Yeah, and Googling, because when I started networking in like the fashion space, I mean, I just Googled every fashion event or any event that in the industry or space that I'm trying to get into. Just honestly, Google and go, and then just don't get scammed.
Don't get scammed. You can bring a buddy. I mean, I would say that could hinder you because if you're shy, you just want to be with your friend, and that's your safe bubble. So try to go alone. But again, find the people on the edges. Find the people who you could connect with. Be honest. Tell your story. Don't be schemy. Don't, expect this person to come and transform your entire career. They might just be a friend. They might just be someone you get coffee with once, like it's really all is possible, but you have to be the first person to put yourself out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else on this wild ride of an episode?
No.
Okay.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time on The Girls Next Pour.